Good morning, Cindy Benson here. As an LGD training specialist, I spend a lot of time thinking about behaviors to change and solving problems, and I love my job, but it can take a toll on me personally. And so recently I decided to spend more time celebrating the brilliance of livestock guardian dogs, and I'm going to start right here on my own ranch. I've got 17 working livestock guardian dogs here right now. And yesterday morning when I was talking on the phone, which is directly behind the camera is the house and my office, I watched behaviors play out in front of me, now behind me, that I will walk you through as I look back at them, because it's brilliance on my ranch. So here we go. So this is the scope of my ranch. It's 360 acres, straight out ahead beyond the, in the tree line beyond, far back as you can see, and the hills above are all government land and lots of natural predators, and that's the way that I like it. And I have pairs of dogs working all over the place here. The two Anatolian boys, who are the stars of my talk today, are up there sleeping in the shade. There's two adult Maramas in this field, and there are two more dogs, adult dogs, working behind this white building in that field. So the players today we have are Porthos and Tavi, who are the livestock guard, or the Anatolians. Porthos is the tan guy, and Moxie, who is a little, well, you won't see her, but I will talk about her. So here we go. So I was sitting behind me talking on the phone to a friend, and all the dogs exploded. All the dogs were barking. My little house dogs sounded off. Several of the livestock guardian dogs of the ranch sounded off, and Porthos and Tavi, way out there, jumped to their feet and raced to the end of their field. So way out there to the end of the field, and stood out there and barked and raced back and forth. Their bodies were tall, their tails were hiked way up over their backs, stalking around out there back and forth laterally along that back corner of the fence line, in response to a coyote that had walked from this kind of tree line out across this meadow and just panned out across here. The coyote was in no hurry, didn't look left, didn't look right, didn't pay any attention to my dogs. They sounded off and they watched the coyote. As the coyote kept moving, they just stood back there and they watched. There was no more barking. They hung out down there at the end of that field for a while as the coyote worked its way on through and up all this way up into the tree line. The Anatolians monitored this coyote, never barking anymore, never worried, showing any kind of stress. They just were very aware of the trajectory of this coyote. So here I go talking on the phone a little longer. Pretty soon I see, about here, I think is where I picked it up, my little Anatolian cross, Moxie, who's about half the size of these two Anatolian boys that are sleeping in the shade there. Moxie saw that coyote, objected to that coyote. She jumped out of her field, over at least one, if not two, 5-foot field fences, into that pasture, out of that pasture, and all the way out here to the meadow to show up behind that coyote. So the coyote's at a decent kind of a trot, not a super big trot. Moxie's about maybe 30 yards behind at the same trot, not closing any distance at all, escorting this coyote off across here, and she followed him all the way out here, and she disappeared. The Anatolian boys were very aware of her management of this situation. They were up in the corner of their field again, watching the whole thing. Again, no barking from her. She didn't attempt to get any closer to the coyote. She just escorted him off the property, and it was remarkable. So they all disappeared into this tree line behind that barn, and they were out of my sight. The Anatolian boys moved all along this fence line and tracked Moxie's presence with the coyote. About, I don't know, 10 minutes later, Moxie showed up here along this tree line to say hi to the Anatolians. They worked up and down, wagging their tails, saying hi to her because here she's back. And I'm thinking, oh, thanks heavens that she's back. It's not my intention to have dogs leave fields. As she came back, she checked in with those guys. She worked her way down along the fence line this way, behind the fence, popped out down on my driveway, and showed up back here on the lawn. No fuss. No, I mean, it was brilliant. And clearly they see coyotes all the time, and they probably do this kind of behavior through the night, and I just don't see it. I just happen to be able to sit still and watch my dogs and watch this happen. And it's remarkable, and it's the everyday fabric of dogs that know their job and are confident in it and feel safe. Moxie votes on fences a little bit, which makes me nervous. But brilliant dogs. So I hope you enjoyed the story.